Alabama beats Georgia, that's going to throw.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Leo High School here in Leo, Cedarville, Indiana. We've got a Northeast State Conference matchup coming up for you. Right now, the JV game is still going on. There's 1.5 seconds left in the JV game. Leo leads Columbia City 37-36. Should be a big matchup coming up. Leo is 6-3 on the season, looking for a marquee win, and indeed that's what it would be if they can win. But Columbia City is the #1 team in girls basketball in the state of Indiana right now, and they have got a lot of quality wins to back up not only that 8-0 record, but also that #1 ranking. They've beaten Snyder. They've beaten Hamilton Southeastern. They've beaten Valparaiso. That's just a few of the wins that the Eagles have under their belt. Most recently, they beat Bishop Dwenger. Now, Dwenger is, I believe, 4-4, if I'm not mistaken, but they were on a 3-game winning streak until they went to Columbia City. There's 1.5 seconds left to play in this JV game, so we will step aside and come back as we get closer to the start of the varsity game. You're watching high school girls basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com.
I came into PSM my freshman year after volleyball. Just coming here just really improved mentally and physically. I brought in my strengths. I came in and I learned how to grow as an athlete. I mean, I've gotten stronger, sprint faster, get up higher. My jump has elevated. Working with Tyler, he built up my endurance for everything, whether it's in weights, sprints. All across the board, we just keep working, and I have athlete development at Warsaw High School that I go to, and so I send him my thing every day, and he changes what we do in here to adapt to what we do there. High school volleyball, when you can go up to 5 sets, being able to just outwork everybody and still being able to put in that 100% was huge for me. PSM performance definitely helped me mentally. I know I can beat out people. I know I can work for what I have, and I know I can even go to the next level on the court. Looking at college, I can put on it. I'm training at a college level. I mean, I come in here and I watch college athletes train. You have hockey players, soccer. You look around and you see every type you can. Just being able to see that level, and I know that I can reach that level as well. You got to work to be the best, and that was just what I wanted to do. I knew that from a young age. I wanted to put in the work.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, I mean, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, I mean, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really
Well, folks, there is 1.5 seconds left in the JV game between Columbia City and Leo. Leo is leading 37-36. We will bring you the varsity game as that one gets close to start time. Right now, 1.5 seconds left in the JV game. Columbia City just called a timeout. I believe they called back-to-back timeouts. So we will be back in a matter of moments. You're watching high school girls basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I just want to be the best in basketball. So I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me. So I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels. We did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here.
Here.
I belong here.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with Gym Rat's basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the EDGE program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
In 4 years, this could be you.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Leo High School in this Northeast 8 Conference matchup right here on SummitCitySports.com as we bring you the homestanding Leo Lions versus the visiting Columbia City Eagles. Well, we'll talk a little bit about these Eagles, first of all, because Columbia City comes into this game as the #1 team in the state of Indiana. You know, the scoring's been pretty balanced for a good portion of the year, although there are some notable players who have scored in high totals in recent weeks, particularly Addison Baxter. She's coming off a 24-point game against Bishop Dwenger. She also came up, I believe it was 10 points, and check that, 8 points against Goshen. She's had a number of double-digit games this season. Against Hamilton Southeastern, Baxter also scored 16 points in that game. Now, however, Kendra Sheets had 20 points in the game against Bishop Dwenger. You also have Molly Baker, who's capable of scoring in double figures as well. And I beg your pardon, I got to correct myself. Baxter had 28 points against Hamilton Southeastern. Sheets had 12 in that particular game. And it was Baxter and Sheets who scored in double figures against Bishop Dwenger. Molly Baker scored 12 points in that particular game, and Baker also added a grand total of 14 points, all in the paint against Goshen. That was a road game during Thanksgiving week. That was one of 3 straight wins, although the Eagles' record right now is 8-0. They haven't yet lost. Anissa Tonkel also picked up 15 points in that particular game. But one thing that Columbia City is very good at is steals. Now, they focus a lot on defense, Columbia City does, and they recently held Hamilton Southeastern to a season-low 51 points. And that's after holding Goshen to 24 and followed that up by holding Dwenger to, I think it was 31 points. They held the Saints to a very low-scoring total. So they focus a lot on defense. They're good at getting a lot of steals. And a name that you may very well hear mentioned a lot throughout this game on the Columbia City side is Addison Baxter. She had 3 steals against Goshen. I believe had a high steal total also against Bishop Dwenger as well. That's right, Baxter had 12 steals. That's right, 12 steals against the Bishop Dwenger Saints back on Tuesday night. That was a home game for the Columbia City Eagles. She's also one of their top leaders in assists. She had 8 in the Dwenger game, 8 assists in that game, and 5 assists in the Goshen game. Baxter had 4 assists and 6 rebounds in the win over Hamilton Southeastern. So you'll likely hear her name a lot. There's a lot of players who contribute for this Columbia City team. Faith Frey is capable of having some quality games. So is, as I mentioned, Anissa Tonkel. Tessa Tonkel also capable of having some quality games as well. And as we mentioned, Molly Baker is a player who can score in double figures on a consistent basis for the Eagles. They focus a lot on their defense, so They will likely look to keep the Lions at bay on the defensive side. And you talk to some of their players, including Addison Baxter, and they'll say, our defense is going to win us our games. Addison Baxter said that when I interviewed her earlier this week. Now, Columbia City has an 8-0 record, and they've got some quality wins to back up that 8-0 record and back up that number 1 ranking. They recently beat Hamilton Southeastern. That was last week. And Hamilton Southeastern had not lost a game until they took on Columbia City. That was a neutral court game, and Columbia City able to come out with a win, become the first to knock off Hamilton Southeastern. They are also the first and only team to knock off the Snyder Panthers this year. They beat them 54-40. That was a home game for the Eagles. Another great defensive performance. I believe that 40 points that Snyder scored was a season low and still is a season low for the year so far. Again, defense, defense, defense. You'll hear it a lot from Columbia City, but that's not the only team you'll hear a defensive emphasis from. We'll talk about the Leo Lions when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Dealing with joint pains, sprains, strains, or back pain? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, Ortho Express has specialized orthopedic physicians on staff when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more.
Well, back here at Leo High School, Leo set to take on Columbia City. Now the Lions come into this game 6-3 overall, and they are taking on the number 1 ranked Columbia City Eagles. The Lions 6-3. They had gone on a stretch where they lost 3 straight. Those losses were to Blackhawk Christian, Eastside, and South Adams. Blackhawk Christian's a quality opponent, and that was a close game. I had the pleasure of doing that game right here at Leo High School. The Lions were down 11 in that game. They came all the way back to take the lead, but the duo of Emma Klein and Allie Boyer helped to close it out for Blackhawk Christian. That was their first loss of the season. It's their only home loss of the season so far. Now, the first 4 games of the season were all wins for the Lions, and in those games, the defense was a huge key to success, especially when you look at the opener, Halloween night against Lakeland. The Lions won that one 62-16, then beat Heritage November 2nd, 55-23. The most points the Lions gave up in that stretch was 39 against the Wayne Generals, and that's a Wayne team that's been building up in recent years under head coach Laisha Gorman. But the Lions got a 15-point win that night. Kind of got off to a slow start, but then they were able to find some rhythm and make the comeback and end up winning it by 15. I mentioned that 3-game losing streak the Lions were on. The Lions, however, have won their last 2 games. Had a 47-34 win against Concordia and then a 30-20 win against Garrett. Now, Garrett used a lot of 2-3 zone in that game, kind of slowed down the Lions' offense. However, Leo played mostly man-to-man defense in that game, and it was very effective man-to-man. The girls did a great job guarding the players for the Railroaders, making difficult shot opportunities for them, and only holding the Railroaders to a mere 20 points in that particular game. Garrett only came in with 2 wins, but they played some really good 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone. I think even incorporated a little bit of 1-3-1 in that particular game, but the Lions were able to weather that and come away with their 2nd straight win. They're trying to make it 3 straight, and it would be a huge upset if the Lions get the win tonight against Columbia City. But Columbia City trying to stay undefeated and add another marquee win to their resume, which right now includes a number 1 ranking with wins over Snyder, Hamilton Southeastern, and Valparaiso. We'll be back in a little bit. Actually, before we go, we are going to get in a few words from our sponsors, pay a few bills while we got a chance to do so before game time. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Kelly Automotive Group celebrates their 70th year in business. Shop all 14 of their brands at drivekelly.com. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com to learn more. We'll get a few more words in from our sponsors in a matter of moments. When we come back, we're going to give you the starting lineups as we have them for the moment. They will officially announce the starting lineups before game time, and they'll have the national anthem likely before that, though possibly after that. You're watching high school girls basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com. Leo taking on Columbia City in a matchup of Northeast 8 conference opponents. This is the conference opener for both the Lions and the Eagles. Northeast 8 could be a very challenging conference as the year goes on. Of course, Norwell, they've only lost twice. East Noble, if I'm not mistaken, they've only lost once. They're coming up on the schedule for Columbia City, by the way. Leo will take on DeKalb for their next conference game after this one's all said and done, and then they go on the road to play Huntington North, who did struggle out of the gate to start the season. They got romped by Snyder in their opener, and Snyder's going to romp a lot of teams this year. They've already blown out quite a few already this year. Their only loss was to Columbia City. Leo will play Norwell again on January 5th, so that'll be another quality test for the Lions. It'll be a quality test for both of these teams. A few more words from our sponsors, and then we will give you the starting lineups here in just a second. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you to find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services such as brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Our players are equipped with elite level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. They're playing the fight songs for the two schools right now. We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups right now. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Columbia City Eagles. The Eagles will go with a four-guard lineup. Kendra Sheets, Anissa Tonkel, Kendra Sheets, Faith Frey, Tessa Tonkel, and Addison Baxter. Addison Baxter are the four starting guards, and the starting forward is the 5'10" Molly Baker. For Leo, they will start a more conventional offense, if you will. Two guards and three forwards. They don't have a center listed on the starting lineup. They do have Grace Bush listed as a center. She will likely come in off the bench. But the starters are Melina Lape and Izzy Collins at guard. The forwards are Abby Bovey, Leah Chappelle, and Kayla Adams. Adams and Lape have been big additions this year. Lape at the guard position and Adams at the power forward position. They graduated Haley Schott last year. Was a really good shot blocker, really good defender, great rebounder, and Kayla Adams has certainly fit the description of a great rebounder and a good post scorer on the season so far. Leah Chappelle is the Lions' leading scorer. Melina Lape has had some quality games this year. I believe she's had 4 games this year where she scored in double figures. She's coming in with Leah May having graduated after she was the leading scorer for the Lions just a year ago, and the Lions trying to get to 7-3 on the season. While we've got a chance, we will pay a few more bills here. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you? Whether that's expunging your criminal record or helping to get your driver's license reinstated, Jolly Law Firm is your answer. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration, providing top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu for more information. Specialists in design, build, mechanical, and refrigeration. Visit tjwindustrial.com. Earn your edge this season. PSM's Edge Training Program maximizes your athleticism through personalized performance training to reach your goals and get you to the next level. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com/edge to schedule your free consultation. The Leo Lions taking on the Columbia City Eagles in a Northeast 8 conference matchup, and that's coming up here shortly as they will have the national anthem and the introduction of the starting lineups coming up here in just a few minutes. We will step aside as we get ready for the anthem and the announcement of the starting lineups. You're watching and listening to high school girls basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
We would like to wish students from both schools.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
One starter, a 5'7" senior, number 12, Kendra Sheets. Another starter, number 5'6", senior, number 20, Faith Fry. A 5'6" senior, number 22, Tessa Tumble. A 5'10" senior, number 24, Molly Baker. And a 5'9" junior, number 33, Addison Baxter. The Lady Eagles are coached by Amy Shear and assisted by Jenny Zorger. And now for your hosts, the Leo Lions. Starting at one guard, 5'3" junior, Melina Happ. A 5'4" senior, number 25, Izzy Collins. A 5'8" forward, a senior, number 33, Abby Bovey. A 6 foot forward, a sophomore, number 41, Leah Chappelle. And in the middle, a 5'7" senior, number 45, Kayla Adams. The Lions are coached by Carrie.
Well, the starters have been announced as we give you one more word from our sponsors before we get started. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. A Northeast 8 conference battle here at Leo High School. The Lions of Leo taking on the Eagles of Columbia City. Conference opener for both schools. It's Leah Chappelle tipping off against Molly Baker. And Baker wins the tip, but she tips it right to Kayla Adams, and the Lions get the game's first possession. Here's Bovey. She was scoreless from beyond the arc in the game against Garrett. However, Bovey has shown quite an ability to hit from downtown, and there's a takeaway right away as Tessa Tonkel gets the steal for the Eagles. The kick to the corner, and that jumper will not go. Sheets took the shot, and Lape comes in for the board. A big takeaway on the first Lions possession for the Eagles, but they don't get points out of it, and the Lions don't get points out of this. Trying to thread the needle as Chappelle knocks that out of bounds. Baxter threw it off of her, and the Eagles keep it. No score, just 39 seconds into play here at Leo High School. It will be Tessa Tonkel who inbounds for the Eagles. High pass to Baxter. Baxter, a fake, left-handed, got it! Addison Baxter, fresh off that 24-point game against Dwenger. Some full court pressure, a 1-2-2 zone press by Columbia City. Leo beats it. Adams comes open. Her shot goes high. Chappelle boards it. Knocked out of bounds by Sheets, and Leo keeps the ball. Quick inbound. Chappelle throws it wide. She was looking for Adams. Tonkel down the floor. Baker missed it. Adams got back defensively. Chappelle, not much room. She's trying to push through traffic, and she drew a foul on Sheets. Now we'll go ahead and show you one of our replays while we got a chance. This is the first possession of the game. Tessa Tonkel jumps right in front of the pass. You'll see it right here, and I think she might have fooled Izzy Collins there. Got the takeaway on the Lions' first possession. Lape dishes outside to Collins. Looks like the Eagles are in a man-to-man set. That's a three if it goes. It does not. Lape able to keep it in, but not for long. I think she stepped on the chalk trying to save that loose ball right in front of Amy Shearer, by the way. These are two experienced head coaches, Amy Shearer for Columbia City and Carrie Chappelle for Leo. Catch and shoot for Baxter, and she hits. Addie Baxter from downtown, and the Eagles lead at 5-0. Baxter almost got a steal there. Out of bounds to Leo. Columbia City's fans travel quite well. I had their boys basketball game at Canterbury last night. As this goes off of Tonkel before it goes out. I think the Columbia City fans outnumber the Canterbury fans. That game was at Canterbury. The visitor stands are packed here at Leo High School with Eagles fans. Collins was looking for Bovey on the post. Now she goes out to the wing. That goes off of the Eagles. It went off of Faith Fry. Bovey fakes it. Looking for Adams, gets it to her. Had to come out away from the paint to make the catch. Tough catch there on the inside, and Lape turns it over. It's Baxter. Her first steal of the game finds Sheets, and Sheets is fouled. Leah Chappelle called for that one. Leah Chappelle, the daughter of Carrie Chappelle. That's the first foul against the Lions. Each team has committed a foul already. And of course, you'll hear this repeated throughout the season. The fouls are a little bit different here in the state of Indiana. Fry was thinking about a three. She had space there. Tonkel's three won't fall. Kendra Sheets keeps it alive for Columbia City. Tonkel fakes, back to Sheets. Now she'll fire. Comes up short. Collins, little 2-on-2. Wide shot. Collins gets it back and puts it in. Izzy Collins sticking with it. Down the floor. Fry steps inside. A little bit long. Offensive board, though, by Tonkel. I think Carrie Chappelle might have wanted a travel called there. No such call was made. Got a foul against Leah Chappelle, though. Emily Cogdell, who has been a starter for a good chunk of the season, comes in off the bench here. Baxter catches the inbound. Tonkel back outside. Sheets finds Baxter. She's got a lot of space, but comes up short. Oh, Cogdell had the board, but lost it. This elongated possession for Columbia City continues. Fake pass, inbound, Frey. She goes inside. Baker, left-handed, too strong. Kayla Adams was there defending, and I think that was Lape who was helping on the double team. Cogdell lost it, and a foul called on Cogdell, or is the ball out? Yeah, I think they called a foul on Cogdell.
By foul number 20, Emily Cogdell, her first, team third.
A wide open off the inbound with Sheets. Puts up the jumper and it rolls in. Kendra Sheets on the board for the first time in this one. Eagles press again, a 1-2-2 zone press. Lape recovered initially. She's still got to get it across the timeline, and she did not. The Eagles force a 10-second violation. Defense is key for the Eagles, and so far we've seen plenty of good defense. 3 turnovers forced as Baker gets the hook shot to go. High pass taken away. That's Baker. At 5'10", she had the height advantage, and that foul's going to be on Collins. They'll send Addie Baxter to the free throw line. That is, it looked like it was a shooting foul, and I think that is the call. That's Collins' first foul. But Baxter couldn't knock down the first free throw. So many of the best teams here, especially in Northeast Indiana, play a lot of pressure defense, and it's not always just the full court pressure that gets you. Teams that can press in the full court and get back defensively and force turnovers in the half court, like Snyder, are very dangerous. Cogdell got to get across the timeline, and she did not. That's back-to-back 10-second violations forced by the Eagles. The full court pressure confusing the Lions so far. Sheets over to Baxter. Lions move the ball very well, and they find an open shot here with Sheets, but it's short. Adams with the board, and that went off of Addie Baxter. And we're going to get a timeout called by Carrie Chappelle. It's the first timeout either team has had to use. While they take a timeout, had a couple of three-pointers made by Columbia City in this one. Check that. We've only had one three-pointer made by Columbia City. We'll go ahead and show it to you right here. Addison Baxter coming off a 24-point game, and right off the catch, she fires and hits a three. Had all kinds of space there. It was Abby Bovey who was guarding her, and Baxter, see it there, almost got the steal as the Eagles set up their 1-2-2 zone press. With a stoppage in play here, the Eagles are going to get a chance to do just that once again. They've forced two 10-second violations already. But this time, Lape will beat the 10-second clock. Adams in the paint. Goes outside to Cogdell. That was a tough catch. Cogdell, the Tonkel on her. Baxter has the takeaway right along the sideline. Slips it to Baker, and Baker puts it in. Baker caught that one in close to the basket. One with a left-hand layup from the right-hand side. And this 10-point lead for Columbia City is their largest of the game. Collins has Tonkel on her. Cutting inside is Lape. Dishes it to Cogdell, and Cogdell traveled. Double team came as soon as Cogdell got the ball. And now Columbia City will make some substitutions. Lainey Ziliak comes into the game for the Eagles. And Anissa Tonkel, a sophomore, is also checked in, younger sister of Tessa. Although Anissa is taller, she's 5'9", Tessa is 5'6". Here's Anissa getting into the paint, spins around and scores right around Collins. It's all Eagles so far in the Lions' den. Anissa Tonkel getting on the board after she first enters as Lape comes the other way. Lape. Lainey Ziliak, who just came in off the bench, guards her. Cogdell looking for a backdoor cut. Lape has it poked away and taken away. Tonkel secured it. Here comes Sheets down the floor. Sheets will stop and hit off the glass. Well, it's in Philadelphia where they sing Fly, Eagles, Fly. Right now they're singing that in Columbia City. Eagles have flown all the way to a 16-2 lead. Collins across the timeline. Cogdell was open for a moment. Don't think Adams was able to find her. Lape puts it in off the glass. Tough shot. And a much-needed bucket for the Lions. Wide open down the floor, Sheets. Check that, Tonkel. There's Sheets, the offensive board, and she scores. And again, the Eagles set up their press. 1:15 to go here in this first quarter. Lape across the timeline. Ziliak guarding her. Adams, does she set the screen? She kind of did. Baker on her. Baker's the tallest player on this Columbia City team. Bovey, the floater, rattles out. Sheets comes the other way. The feed to Baxter. Baxter to the paint. Left it short. Battle for it, and Adams takes it away. Just 42 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Collins, trailing defender, leaning in. And did she draw the foul? I think she did. They get Ziliak for that foul. Subs will come into the game as Grace Bush makes her first entry. Gives the Lions a little bit more size. Faith Fry into the game as well for Columbia City. They're saying the foul was on the floor, that it was not a shooting foul, and that's a 5-second violation. The defense of Columbia City is a point of emphasis for the Eagles. And it has been solid tonight. They've only given up 4 points. I think they've forced 5 turnovers. We're still in the first quarter. Let me update that. I think they've actually forced 6 turnovers. 2 10-second violations as well, forced by the Eagles. The Eagles look like they're going to hold for the final shot of the quarter here. Tonkel will set the screen here for Sheets. A catch and shoot for Tessa Tonkel, but it's off the mark. Lions are going to run out of time here. Collins That's not even close. 18-4, Columbia City on top at the end of the first quarter. Eagles living up to their number one ranking so far. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter here on SummitCitySports.com.
Sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Well, it's all Eagles as we start the second quarter. 18-4, Columbia City on the road playing their conference opener. They've got 2 more conference games coming up this month against Norwell and East Noble. Fake pass there by Ziliak. Cogdell had the closeout there on Fry. Ziliak now will fire. Missed the 3. Battle for the board. Still loose. Who wants it? That's a hot potato on the court. It's a jump ball. The possession arrow does favor the Lions. Inbound goes to Lape. And again, Columbia City sets up their 1-2-2 zone press. They've forced 2 10-second violations out of this already. They won't force one here, but they do get the turnover as Ziliak gets the steal. Baxter had a little bit of space. Now she drives, and that's Anissa Tonkel for 3. Won't go, and a foul is called. It's a late call there on Grace Bush, and that might be what's on the mind of Carrie Chappelle right now. Looked like there was contact made by Bush, but the call wasn't made until after the rebound. Baxter gets by one player and then gets fouled. That's Bush again. That's 2 quick fouls here in the second quarter by Bush. 7:13 to go here in the second. Quality night so far for Baxter. She's up to 6 points. She's got to make from 2-point land and from 3-point land. She's 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. 20-4 in favor of Columbia City. And again, they set up their 1-2-2 zone press. That's too high for Cogdell and taken away by Ziliak. Cogdell's 5'5". She'd have had to been 5'9" to catch that one. Fry's 3 won't go. Baxter the offensive board. Fry, the floater, hits it right over Chappelle. And another near takeaway that time, late recovered. Cogdell, timeout. Looked like she was just about to beat the press, get it to Leah Chappelle, but her mom, Carrie, calls the timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. 22-4. It's all Eagles so far here in the ball game. We'll go ahead and show you this last possession. Here is a little taste of what the 1-2-2 zone press has done for Columbia City. Forced a high pass there over the head of Emily Cogdell, and Lainey Ziliak in the right place at the right time to get the takeaway. And it culminates with this offensive board by Addie Baxter, and then the bucket by Faith Fry. Our replays, as always, are brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Eagles with a 22-4 lead. They put a lot of focus on defense, and the defense has been effective tonight. That's an understatement. The defense has been excellent tonight for Columbia City. As Collins gets the handoff, she's got Anissa Tonkel guarding her now. All poked away. Baxter got a hand on it. Kept alive by Lape. Then knocked away by Tonkel. Did Lape save it in time? It's a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it back to the Eagles. Amy Shearer likes what she sees. Amy Shearer is in her 14th season as the Eagles head coach. Carrie Chappelle's in her 19th season as the Lions head coach. Chappelle's won 223 games. Shearer's won 183. The Eagles are coming off back-to-back 20-win seasons. Catch and shoot for Fry. No good. Out of bounds to the Lions.
Returning to the lineup for the Lady Lions, number 45, Kayla Adams.
Kayla Adams re-enters along with Abby Bovey. Abby, not Addie. Molly Baker had a pretty good breather until she re-enters here in the second quarter. And this time it looks like the Eagles are just going to go with a straight man-to-man. Screen set by Adams, tries to get free. Credit to Molly Baker, she stayed with her. All Lape able to avoid the turnover. Adams, offensive foul. They call her for throwing the elbow.
Foul on number 45, Kayla Adams, her first, team's third.
From up here, it looked like she did throw the elbow and commit the foul. I think that's the reason for the call. Baxter for three. Second triple of the game for Addie Baxter. Well, now it's a straight man-to-man, but Tessa Tonkel doing some good work there on Lape. The visiting crowd wants an over and back call. I'm not sure that wasn't warranted there. It's going to be a kickball, though, on the Eagles. Well, of course, officiating's never easy in a fast-paced game like basketball. There's always going to be judgment calls made, and of course at this level, you don't have the benefit of instant replay to change calls. Of course, we have the ability to show you our replays via Traction Athletic Performance, and we may show you a few more before the night's done. Adams sets the screen for Bovey. Bovey's been quiet as far as scoring goes. Of course, that goes for most of the Lions players. Oh, that's ripped away. Chappelle battling for it. As Faith Fry gets the takeaway for the Eagles, and Fry will fire inside, but it's off the hands of Baker. Chappelle gets bumped and fouled by Addie Baxter.
Foul number 33, Addison Baxter, her first, team first.
Well, so far we've had a grand total of 7 points scored here in the second quarter. Now all 7 of those points have been scored by the Eagles. Adams trying to change that, but her shot went too high. Extra pass to the corner. Baker one-on-one, blocked. Out of bounds. It was Chappelle who blocked it. But it's off of her. The feed inside. Baxter, no good, but she is fouled.
Foul number 23, Melina Lake, her first, team fourth.
Baxter true on the first free throw. I've got Baxter for 12 points at the moment. Make it 13. She scores in high totals. She scored 24 points against Bishop Dwenger. It's a 27-4 lead for the Eagles. Cogdell. That's guarded by Frey. That's 20 on 20. Loose ball off the hands of Chappelle. Adams saves it. Chappelle keeps it alive, leans in, and gets fouled. Kendra Sheets called for the foul. That's a rather rare foul, it seems, against Columbia City. However, it is the second team foul this quarter on the Eagles. It's a much-needed free throw for the Lions. Leah Chappelle has been held off the board so far tonight. but she goes 2 for 2 on this trip. Tonkel gets it to Baker, and Baker scores. The pass was actually tipped, but Baker able to corral it and put it home. She's got 6 points. Baker does a lot of her work in the paint. Tonkel with some good defense there on Cogdell. Bovey finds Lape. Right now it's man-to-man defense by Columbia City. Lions had trouble against Garrett's 2-3 zone, but came out with a 10-point win. It's man-to-man defense tonight for the most part by Columbia City, along with the 1-2-2 zone press. Chappelle was open for just a moment, and then Baker causes the turnover. Here comes Baxter running the floor. Tonkel the drive off the glass and puts it in. Chappelle catches, drives, double teamed, shot won't go. Ripped away, that's Baxter. Baxter the lob down the floor, and Chappelle takes it away. Chappelle 1 on 2, and she is fouled by Kendra Check that, that's Lainey Ziliak.
Foul number 10, Lainey Ziliak. Her first, or second, team third.
2:46 to go here in the second quarter. It's the third team foul on Columbia City. Adams blocked. Molly Baker with the recovery. Baxter down the floor. Tonkel in transition. Tessa Tonkel putting it in and capping off the Baker block. Traveling is called on Melina Lape. It is a dominating performance by the Eagles, 33-6. It's a lion taming. Outside to Sheets. Ziliak gets it into the paint to Sheets. I believe that's Tonkel for 3, and it is Anissa Tonkel. And the Eagles have a 30-point lead. First 3 for Tonkel tonight. Eagles have hit just 3 threes. 2 of those belong to Addie Baxter. Collins into the paint. The floater, no. Good look, but couldn't finish. Fry, or rather Sheets, leaves it off for Tonkel, and Tonkel's 3 misses. She does get her own board, though. Baxter, check that, that's number 32, Tora Holler, the sophomore coming in off the bench. Over to Collins. Lob inside, tough catch, Chappelle. Gotta have it, and she does. To the corner, Ziliak for 3, yes! The Eagles continue to pour it on, and now the Lions have only 2 timeouts remaining in the game. A dominating performance by Columbia City. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break during this one here on SummitCitySports.com. Columbia City is dominating 41-8. This is their conference opener. Eagles are the number 1 team in the state of Indiana, and they are looking like it. Lape trying to get to the paint, finds Collins. into Chappelle. Chappelle with the feed looking for Bush. And I think we got a foul called on the Eagles. They call it on Faith Fry. One of the fans here in the visiting section wanted a jump ball to be called. Now, the possession arrow would have given it to Leo. However, Eagles would have gotten the next possession. Bush gets fouled right after the inbound, and it was on the shot. It's the 15th foul against the Eagles. Even was it not a shooting foul, it would still be double bonus. These are crucial free throws for the Lions. Bush able to get the first one. Bush missed the second one. Sheets going quick. She's going to fire right away, but missed the jumper. Offensive board, Anissa Tonkel. Sheets contested three and hits. Right over Chappelle. Kendra Sheets. 5 threes here in the first half for the Eagles. Did they call that a 2? Shot is good. Late puts it home. Scoreboard says 43-11. I thought for sure that was a 3. This is, if it goes, no good. Well, it's a 32-point lead at halftime for Columbia City. We'll have to take another look at that shot before we go. I thought for sure that was going to be a 3 for Sheets. You'll see it here on our Traction AP replay. Yeah, the initial shot here is not a 3, but that didn't go as you see that. A good hustle there by Anissa Tonkel. I can't tell where her feet are there. That's thanks to my own scoreboard, of course, but excellent shot there by Sheets right over the much taller 6-foot flat Leah Chappelle. That's a key bucket to help Columbia City close out the first half. Defense is key for the Eagles, and their defense has held Leo, a 6-3 team, to just 11 points tonight. I beg your pardon, that's not correct. Yeah, I clicked a few rows down. It's halftime. It's not a final score. In fact, we can say this much. The second half will not start with a running clock. Second half will start with the clock at 8 minutes, of course. It will only go to a running clock if Columbia City takes a lead of 35 points or more in the second half. We're not at that point yet. And they have put 1 point back on the scoreboard. They have decided to call that a 3 for Kendra Sheets. So the score does read 44-11 here at the Leo High School scoreboard. And it's a 33-point lead for the Eagles. We'll come back in a little bit and give you the first half statistics. You're watching high school girls basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
It is halftime here at Leo High School. It is Columbia City leading 44-11 over the Lions. Again, they did call that last bucket by Kendra Sheets toward the end of the first half a 3, not a 2. And we will go ahead and read off the first half statistics for you. Speaking of Kendra Sheets, so far she's got 9 points in the game. Anissa Tonkel has 5 off the bench. Lainey Ziliak has 3 off the bench. Molly Baker has 6. All her points, if I'm not mistaken, coming in the paint. Tora Holler has 2 points off the bench. Tessa Tonkel has 4 points. Faith Fry with 2. Addison Baxter, who's coming off a 24-point performance against Bishop Dwenger, has scored a grand total of 13 points. She's hit 2 threes and scored on the interior as well. It's been a struggle for the Lions tonight. Melina Lape and Izzy Collins have 2 points apiece. Grace Bush has 1. Leah Chappelle has 4 so far. And I think it was Lape who scored towards the end of the first half. Got an extra bucket, so that will give her 4 points for the game. 44-11. Again, the game will not go into a running clock right away in the second half. It will only go to a running clock if Columbia City takes a lead of 35 points or more. They're very close to that. But putting together a great defensive performance. Early on, you saw a lot of the 1-2-2 zone press, and the second quarter, you saw a little bit more straight man-to-man. Not as much pressure from the Eagles, but whether it was the 1-2-2 zone press or the straight man-to-man, the Eagles have been excellent on the defensive side of the floor, making things difficult for Leo. Forced Leo into a lot of rush shots, a lot of contested shots. And the Eagles have been able to force several turnovers in the game so far, mostly out of their zone, but they've also forced some out of the man-to-man as well. 44-11. We'll be back in just a matter of moments. You're watching high school girls basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com.
I came into PSM my freshman year after volleyball. Just coming here just really improved mentally and physically. I brought in my strengths. I came in and I learned how to grow as an athlete. I mean, I've gotten stronger, sprint faster, get up higher. My jump has elevated. Working with Tyler, he built up my endurance for everything, whether it's in weights, sprints. All across the board, we just keep working, and I have athlete development at Warsaw High School that I go to, and so I send him my thing every day, and he changes what we do in here to adapt to what we do there. High school volleyball, when you can go up to 5 sets, being able to outwork everybody and still being able to put in that 100% was huge for me. PSM performance definitely helped me mentally. I know I can beat out people. I know I can work for what I have, and I know I can even go to the next level on the court. Looking at college, I can put on it. I'm training at a college level. I mean, I come in here and I watch college athletes train. You have hockey players, soccer. You look around and you see every type you can. Just being able to see that level, and I know that I can reach that level as well. You got to work to be the best, and that was just what I wanted to do. I knew that from a young age. I wanted to put in the work.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Halftime here at Leo High School. Columbia City on top 44-11. This game came in as 2 of the top teams in the Northeast 8 Conference. Columbia City undefeated at 8-0, number 1 in the state of Indiana. If this score holds up, if this lead holds up, that would no doubt remain unchanged, as Columbia City's already got marquee wins on their resume against the likes of Hamilton Southeastern and Snyder, and also Valparaiso. This will be their first conference win of the season if the lead holds up in the second half. By the way, we want to give you a reminder that tomorrow we are planning to cover the collectively evolving middle school top 100 football showcase. I believe that's set to take place from Indianapolis. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that's set to take place from the Indianapolis Colts training facility. I got to be a part of that broadcast a few years ago, and that was from Finch Creek Fieldhouse in Noblesville, not too far from Indianapolis. By the way, if you've never been to Finch Creek Fieldhouse, it's an impressive facility. They got football facilities, baseball facilities. Actually, they've got artificial indoor turf there where you could train for football, for soccer, or for baseball. Of course, that day they were holding the football showcase for middle schoolers, and they've also got basketball courts, and they've also got weightlifting there. Got a gym that you can work out in. Well, Columbia City flexing their muscle tonight on the road, 44-11 the score. Going to go ahead and show you a couple of replays while we've got a chance here. And this is going to be a player who's done some good work on the interior for Columbia City. That's Molly Baker. She's the only power forward in the Eagles starting lineup, and you'll see her going to work right here. That's good defense there by Kayla Adams, but Baker able to put it in right over top of her. Good one-on-one battle there that Baker was able to win. Our replays, by the way, are brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Back in 42 seconds, you're watching high school girls basketball on SummitCitySports.com. We are back for the start of the second half here from Leo High School. It is all Eagles 44-11 in this Northeast State Conference opener for both teams. A little bit later on, we'll tell you what's coming up next for both the Eagles and the Lions, but it's the Lions who start the second half with the basketball. They get it into Izzy Collins. Collins getting the start after she did not start. Oh, there's a takeaway, a little pickpocket. Addie Baxter, one-on-one, puts it home. 35-point lead for the Eagles. And that means that the game will now go into a running clock. Chappelle looking for some help. She's got Tessa Tonkel on her. Chappelle has the size advantage. They call a reach-in foul there. It's a foul on Tonkel. The Lions keep possession. Looks like the Eagles have gone to a zone here. 2-3 zone. Poked away. Chappelle recovers, puts it up. Too strong. And that's Baxter with the board for the Eagles. Baxter going quick. And she draws a foul. Looked to be before the shot. Izzy Collins called for the foul. Baker finds Fry. Pull-up jumper, Sheets. Got it. Shooter's touch, Kendra Sheets. 11 points for Sheets. She's into double figures. I believe she's the second Columbia City Eagle to reach double figures in this one. 37-point lead for Columbia City. Fake pass there by Lape. Catch and shoot. Collins left it short on the three ball, and Baker's got the board for Columbia City. Baxter, the feed. Sheets, extra pass. That's Tonkel, Tessa Tonkel. We've seen her in the game. We've seen Anissa Tonkel in off the bench. In fact, I believe Anissa was the leading scorer in the game against Goshen. Well, fake there, and Tonkel draws the foul. They got Melina Lape. That's her second. Again, the fouls reset at the end of each quarter. The inbound goes here to Baxter. Baxter slips that one in. Baker makes a move, blocked by Adams, but an offensive board by Fry. Tonkel's three won't go. Baker blocked, and Adams has it. Izzy Collins across the timeline as Sheets picks her up. Adams sets the screen. They try to get it to her, but it's off of Adams. It was a good feed by Collins. Baker just pokes it, and she caught the ball on the chalk. That was an interesting sequence there. In fact, that was actually a good screen and roll by the Lions. Adams just couldn't secure the pass. Three ball, Lape, got it. That was a gotta-have-it shot, and Lape does. Her first three of the game. Leo's first three of the game. Sheets off balance. Adams has it. Quick down the floor come the Lions. That's Lape. Picked up by the much taller Baker, double dribble. It's a turnover either way. Even if that hadn't been called, Addie Baxter had come up with a steal. She is a stingy guard, she is. And Anissa Tonkel will come into the game. It's a 44-point lead, but because the Eagles have already gone up 35 here in the second half, the clock continues to move. Faith Fry, a catch and shoot. That three wouldn't go, and a good box out there by Adams. Chappelle down the floor, quick down the floor, draws some contact and gets fouled. Two free throws coming up for Leah Chappelle. She's the daughter of head coach Carrie Chappelle. Her dad, Ben Chappelle, coaches softball here at Leo. Led the Lions to a trip to semi-state this past year, and Leo was a part of that. Clock does stop after fouls, after shooting fouls, as the players shoot the free throws. Chappelle will get 1 out of 2 on that trip to the line. Wide open, Baxter uses the baseline. Collins closed in on her. Gets it to Tonkel, and Tessa puts it home. That's 6 points for Tessa Tonkel and a takeaway. It's Baxter coming the other way, and she scores. And a timeout taken by Leo. They've only got one remaining. Well, Addison Baxter now up to 17 points for the game, as we are going to go ahead and take another look at that last play. Our replays, as always, are brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Addison Baxter is a stingy guard, and here she causes the takeaway and gets the steal in every way. Causes the turnover and makes good on it. It was against Dwenger, where Addie Baxter had 12 steals. That's right, 12 steals. She can do it all. She can share with her teammates. She can score. She can rebound. She can play great defense, and she can turn defense into offense. And you just saw her do it there. The defense has been a key for these Columbia City Eagles. That's one reason why they've been able to hold Leo to a mere 15 points. And you've seen a few different looks defensively from the Eagles. You've seen the straight man-to-man. You've seen the 1-2-2 zone press. You've seen the 2-3 zone. You've seen a little bit more of that here in the third quarter. It looks like the Eagles are going with a 3-2 zone this time. Grace Bush posting down low. Cogdell double teamed, and you see a lot of those against the zone. They get it into Chappelle. Lape, the floater, short. Chappelle had it ripped away by her own teammate. Bush scores and a foul. They get Tessa Tonkel, and that's her third foul of the game. They'll send Grace Bush to the free throw line. Chance to complete a three-point play. Clock does stop on the foul. Bush knocks down the free throw. Tonkel across the timeline. Finds Baxter. Man-to-man defense here by the Lions as Sheets drives and scores. Kendra Sheets to the bucket. That's 13 points for Sheets. Lape in trouble. Baxter on her. Baxter going for another takeaway, but this time she commits a foul in the process. Well, Baxter's a stingy guard. You're going to see her go after a lot of takeaways, but sometimes that's going to cost you. Commit those reach-in fouls. It is the second foul against Baxter tonight. Tora Holler re-enters the game. Chappelle able to recover that one. Gets by the defender. Throws it up. It won't go. They're going to say off the Lions. Kendra Sheets running point here for the Eagles. She gives that one up. Anissa Tonkel will feed that one over to Holler. Man-to-man defense here by the Lions. Baxter. Was that a behind-the-back dribble there? You can see that at just about any level from time to time. The basket won't go. Sheets was fouled. They'll call it before the shot. Leah Chappelle called for that one, a blocking foul.
Leah Chappelle, her third, team third.
Inbound goes to Tora Holler. Catch and shoot, Kendra Sheets. No good, offensive board, stick back goes. And it's Anissa Tonkel who puts it home. Poked away, recovered by Lape. Lape finds Chappelle. Chappelle trying to handle it, and a foul. It's the 15th foul on the Eagles, so that puts the Lions into the double bonus.
Fouling number 33, Addison Baxter.
They call it on Addie Baxter. It's her third. It's one of the few things that has not been positive for Baxter in the game is the fouls. She's now technically in foul trouble. As Melina Lape gets the first free throw. She goes 2 for 2. Kendra Sheets will bring this one across the timeline. We're down to 10 seconds here in the third quarter. Sheets, baseline. She finds Baxter, and the clock runs out. Eagles don't get a shot off, but they lead it by 46 points at the end of the third quarter. 56-20 as we go to the fourth. You're watching high school girls basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Over!
56-20, Columbia City on top of Leo as we start the fourth quarter. It will be Columbia City ball to start the quarter, and it will be a running clock as well. Columbia City's defense has been dominant. They've used different defensive schemes tonight. They've used the man-to-man. They've used the 1-2-2 zone press, 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone as Lainey Ziliak draws the foul on the inside. Kayla Adams appeared to be the one who got her. Instead, they call it a number 25, Izzy Collins. It's Collins' third foul. Collins getting to start tonight after she did not get to start against Garrett. On Thursday night. And 3 games this week for the Lions, all in 2-day spans. They played Concordia on Tuesday night, then 2 nights later, they played Garrett. Now 2 nights after that, they take on Columbia City, but the Eagles with a 48-point lead. Bovee, the jumper, short. If I'm not mistaken, she was scoreless in the game against Garrett. Bovee's shown an ability to shoot from the outside. Haven't seen much of that tonight. They go inside. Molly Baker trying to put on the spin move. Left-handed. Got the offensive board. Sheets. A Chappelle on her, and Chappelle knocked the ball away there for a moment. Sheets on the drive. Blocked by Chappelle. It stays with the Eagles. These 2 teams are in different classes. Columbia City's in Class 4A. They're in the same sectional as Huntington North, Homestead, and Wayne. Extra pass. Lainey Ziliak's 3 won't fall. Baker's got the offensive board. Threads the needle to Sheets. Tora Holler for 3, short. Offensive board, Sheets, long. And Chappelle has the board for the Lions. Leap down the floor, trying to get by Baker. And that's a wild shot, but kept alive by Adams. And Chappelle puts it home. Sheets slips it inside. Baker on Adams, got it. Molly Baker, a contested shot. Baker with 8 points so far in the game, and it looks like the Eagles are back in a 3-2 zone. They've used the 2-3 zone, and that's thrown off the foot of Molly Baker. Baker will chase it down, and the ball does not wander out into the atrium. Amy Shearer will dig into her bench. Columbia City won 20 games last year and went on the road to defeat both Northrop and Snyder, 2 of the best teams in the Summit Athletic Conference. They've already beaten Snyder this year. But they faced Homestead in the first round of sectionals. Homestead ended up winning that one. Columbia City baseball team also faced Homestead in the first round of sectionals. Tessa Tonkel knocks that one out. Check that, that's Holler, Tora Holler. By the way, Rob Bell has built up a very good baseball program at Columbia City. They went 19-9 last year, and Grayson Bradbury led the team in strikeouts. He was pitching a gem in that first round sectional game against Homestead. However, the Spartans touched him up late, and they won that game, as I recall, 5-0. Logan Tuttle had an inside the park home run for Sparty. That's a good baseball program that the Spartans have. Currently under Nick Bile, and had a good program under former head coach Steve Sotier. I believe he's down in Texas nowadays. Chappelle off the glass, got it. Tough shot, Leah Chappelle. Tonkel. Now that's Anissa Tonkel with the basketball. Left-handed, and Tonkel puts it home. 9 points off the bench for Anissa Tonkel. The Eagles stick with that 3-2 zone. We're halfway through the fourth quarter, and it looks like the Eagles are going to easily retain their number 1 ranking when the official poll comes out early in the week, as Chappelle gets fouled down low. That was on the shot. They call that foul on number 34 for Columbia City. That's Sydney Moore, the junior, committing the foul, as Chappelle able to hit that first free throw. Beg your pardon, got to catch up our scoreboard. 62, I think we gave somebody the wrong points there. 62-25 there. My apologies there. Chappelle gets just 1. Got caught up talking about baseball there as Tora Holler puts up the jump shot. Offensive board, Ziliak. That one won't go. Tonkel fighting, but she dribbled it on the chalk. She didn't dribble it on the chalk. She just lost it on the chalk. Emily Cogdell has not been on the court very often tonight. Haven't hardly got the chance to mention she's the daughter of Leo boys head coach Carrie Cogdell. Lions boys team got a win against Heritage. That was on the road last night. That ball's knocked away and stolen. Anissa Tonkel has it. Gets it down the floor. Ziliak leaning in is Olivia Kidd, and she's fouled. Looked to be on the shot. Call it on Cogdell. Second team foul against Leo this quarter. And Olivia Kidd goes to the line. Nothing but net on that first free throw. Kidd cracks the scoreboard tonight. Kidd goes 2 for 2. Izzy Collins uses the screen there from Bush, trying to get it to Bush, and it's poked away and stolen away. Sydney Moore caused it. And officially Tora Holler will get the steal. Ziliak's three won't fall. Battle for the board, and Bush has it. Almost rolled down to the deck. That would have been a travel had she done that. Across the timeline, Cogdell, open three, short. Offensive board, Bush up with it, got it. Grace Bush was 6 points off the bench. Ziliak a catch and shoot. Left it short, she had the open look. And Adams secures the board for the Lions. We were inside the final 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter as the Eagles are about to start the season 9-0. They go inside. Bush, Cogdell gives that one to Collins. And a timeout. That's the last one that Leo has had to use, and Leo will get in a few more subs. Sophia Amstutz comes into the game along with Taylor Davis. And Sayla Wirtz will check in as well. Those are players from the JV team dressing for varsity tonight. Oh, good defense there by the Eagles. That's Olivia Kidd with a defense there, and a foul is going to be called. Anissa Tonkel beside herself with that call.
Foul number 14, Anissa Tonkel, her first, team second.
104 and counting to play here in this fourth quarter. Lob inside. They get it to Bush, and she's fouled on the shot, so Grace Bush will go to the free throw line. Or will she? They're not lining up to shoot. Thought for sure they had called it on the shot. It looked like she was shooting as she was fouled. Of course, it's all academic at this point with Columbia City leading by 37 points. On the baseline, knocked out by Columbia City. Well, Columbia City was reacting as if it was their ball. Again, it's all academic, though, at this point. There's just 18 seconds and counting on the clock. Columbia City's going to get the win. They're going to go to 9-0, and they're going to maintain their number one ranking, you would think, as the polls come out early this week. Cogdell's shot won't fall. Tonkel has it, and Anissa will dribble it across the timeline, looking for a little bit more. Holler, second chance, too strong, but the Eagles will get the win on the road. And to say that this was an impressive road win for Columbia City would be an understatement. We got to fix that there. Have a little logo that we usually put in at the end of our games, and we'll get that fixed here in just a second. But Columbia City with a commanding win on the road tonight, 64-27 as they win their conference opener over Leo. Defense, defense, defense. That was the key for Columbia City. And they used all different kinds of defensive schemes. They used the 3-2 zone, a little bit of 2-3 zone, straight man-to-man, and early on it was the 1-2-2 zone press, and that really took Leo out of rhythm early on. Forced a lot of turnovers. They forced two 10-second violations. Those are hard to force even when you're pressing all night long, whether you're Rick Pitino and the press that he liked to use so much at Louisville, or a former player and assistant coach of his, Billy Donovan, at Florida. Those two coaches pressed a lot. And it's hard to force 10-second violations even when you run that kind of defense, but Columbia City was able to force two 10-second violations tonight, and they hold Leo to 27 points on the night. I believe that's a season low for the Lions. Yes, that is a season low for the Lions so far this year. Garrett held them to 30. Columbia City does one better. They hold them to 27 tonight. We'll give you a little look at the final statistics for this particular game. Kendra Sheets finishes the game with 13 points. 5 points off the bench for Lainey Ziliak. 9 points off the bench for Anissa Tonkel. Faith Fry with 2. Tessa Tonkel, I've got her for 6. Molly Baker with 8 down in the post. Olivia Kidd with 2 off the bench. Tora Holler with 2 off the bench. And Addison Baxter, she finishes the night with 17 points. For Leo, Melina Lape finishes the game with 9 points. Leah Chappelle finishes with 10. Grace Bush finishes with 6. And Izzy Collins finishes with 2. Well, for our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game, we're actually going to recognize 2 players. We are going to recognize Addison Baxter and Kendra Sheets. Baxter, 17 points, a couple of steals as well. I think she had 3, maybe 4 steals in the game. She was stingy all night long, and Kendra Sheets finishes with 15 points, an impressive night of her own. She played great on the defensive end as well. Kendra Sheets and Addie Baxter, your Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game. Season opener, conference opener rather, for Columbia City and Leo, and it's Columbia City who wins 64-27. What's next for these two teams? Well, for Columbia City, they'll go back home on Friday night to take on Norwell, another conference matchup coming up. And then they'll go on the road the following Wednesday, I believe, actually, to take on Warsaw. For Leo, they'll go on the road this coming Tuesday to take on Angola. Excuse me, that's Wednesday. And they'll go on the road again for another conference matchup as they take on DeKalb. And then the Lions are right back home on December 13th to take on Huntington North, and then another conference matchup on the 16th as they go on the road to take on Huntington North. That'll be the final Lions game before the Christmas break. Columbia City's got a few more games before Christmas break, including a home game with East Noble, a road game with Lures, a home game with North Central, and a neutral site game during the Christmas break against Indian Creek. That's what's coming up for the next few games for these two teams. Columbia City wins it in the Northeast State Conference opener, 64-27 over Leo. So for my cameraman, Josh Butts, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Leo High School. We thank you for joining us for this edition of High School Girls Basketball. You've been watching High School Girls Basketball right here on SummitCitySports.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.